I am in my Briar U blue so that we can gush about off campus.
See, I feel like I'm channeling Allie with this.
Yes. I
Like
love
she
the
would she would wear that.
do it for the plot. I have to say, let's just jump right in. I have to say the casting for Allie is so great.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's an incredible, I don't even want to call her a side character because she's more than that, but I think she's an incredible addition to this crew. And this actress is reminding me so much of Sarah Hyland in the early days of Modern Family.
Oh, interesting you said that because her outfits are giving me like Britney Spears' closet. There's a
Oh,
skirt
interesting.
when the scene where they come out of the classroom, she stands up in this like either orangey or rust colored skirt that looks like it's straight out of the God, I can picture the music video and I can't think of what song it is, but that, and then there's like the big jacket that she's wearing over tiny little top for the like block party that
Yeah,
felt very Britney Spears. The hair a little felt Britney Spears circa like 2008 maybe. I just want to start by saying I think whoever is writing this, the showrunner looks like she's our age, but I think there's multiple people that are our age that are working on the show. I want to start with the John Hughes-esque intro, which is not part of the book, but I immediately, from the song choice and the little dancing feet, I was like, oh, this person loves John Hughes. I'm in.
totally. I thought the opening was amazing. And I had seen after the trailer dropped some chatter that was like, how could they change their like meet cute? I'm already not going to be a fan of this. I think sometimes when you do the screen adaptations, there have to be certain changes to bring people in right away who either don't have the whole backstory from the book or who are giving it a shot and then are going to read the book. You can't just brush with a broad stroke like that because it still has so many of the core elements. And I actually think it dials up the fun in a way that I wasn't expecting. In the first episode, by the maybe 20-minute mark, I was like, wherever the official playlist is for this show, I'm going to listen to every single song.
It's on Spotify.
I could not get over the song choices as background music, as things that people are singing along to, as things that they're dancing to. There is a scene where everybody's wearing couples costumes and Allie comes dressed as J-Lo. And not only is the outfit impeccable, but then when the song starts playing from the music video, I shrieked when she shrieked. And I was like, this is incredible. Like the music is dialing up the emotions, the fun, the giddiness, the romance. Whoever is their music supervisor, like, bravo to you. It's incredible. And I feel like in the beginning, there's this scene where Hannah is singing and dancing alone in the basement of the stadium, and she's playing piano and singing to an Elton John song. And you just get this like freedom and joy from her that honestly you don't get in book one. So I like the change. I shouldn't say changes, the choices that are being made in order to quickly have you be all in on these people. It's amazing to me.
I want to start off by saying that I've only watched episodes 1 and 2 so far, but I've watched
Okay.
them both twice.
Okay. Amazing.
Specifically so that I wouldn't talk about anything beyond those
Okay,
first
great.
episodes in this. First, I have to say that I was driving home last night and Maria, beloved Maria, texted and was like, I'm about to start off campus. And I was like, great. I woke up at 6 a.m. and watched the first 2 episodes. And she was like, I knew you would. So she was texting me a little bit. First, she started off by saying, I'm sorry, but there's no but that's better than Connor's story, which
Well, fair. It wasn't even, you know what? I'm sure that the actor, Belmont Cameli, who plays Garrett, by the time Heated Rivalry released, I'm sure that his shower scene had already been filmed. And he was probably like, oh no. Because that's a really rough comparison to have to make. I just feel we're so lucky that the universe keeps gifting us all of these hockey locker room scenes.
I was just going to say the next thing she texted me was, is that Steve Howie? And I said, yeah, that's how old we are now, that we're the age of the parents.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember, just to throw it back for a second, you and I went to see the Miley Cyrus movie, The Last Song, and Greg Kinnear was cast as the dad. And I remember walking out and being like, what does it say that I was more attracted to Greg Kinnear than to the Hemsworth brother? It's just,
Yeah.
we're at that point. Let's go back to like the beginning, which is the casting of
Hmm.
Hannah and Garrett.
Yes.
I
Are you going to tell
think
your
that,
little like 2-degree separation?
uh, well, sure, but I think the casting for Hannah, the
Hmm.
actress's name is Ella Bright. I think it's perfect. I think she
Hmm.
looks how I was picturing her. I think there's a um
Innocence to her.
yes, like
Hmm.
an innocence and just like the world is her oyster in terms of what she's trying to do with her music, and she's had a lot of hardships in her life already, but she has a lot of optimism around her singing and her composing and trying to, be part of this winning competition. And
I was just going to say, I feel like part of it is that she's actually a teenager in real
yeah,
life. She's only
she's
19,
19.
which I feel like they don't do often. It's usually like 20 something. I mean, like Mika, who's playing Allie, I believe is 25.
Yeah,
And she still looks like she could be the same age, but there's also like just an ingrained maturity in her that I don't think you can necessarily remove, even in acting. Whereas I feel like Ella truly, it could be a college sophomore or junior. So I think she like really has that innocence, you know?
totally. Totally. And the just 2-degree connection is that one of my clients lived in London for a really long time, and Ella is British. And my client's daughter went to school with and was in a friend group with Ella when she was younger and growing up. And they still have like the mom's group chat. And so the mom group chat was popping off when Ella got cast in this role. And I said to my client, this show is going to be like The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's how Amazon is promoting this. It's going to
But with
be,
sex.
well, yes, but meaning like popularity, ad budget, press tour. And she was like, yes, that's like what we've all been saying. And we're so excited for her. And, she had always been doing school plays and she was doing things in the West End in London. And she was like, it makes sense that she would get something incredible because she's been working towards this her whole life. I also think if you didn't know she was British, perhaps we're telling people that who
Mm.
don't know. I think it never for a second seems like she's trying to be American. It's just very flawless performance. And when I saw the casting for Garrett, I wasn't that excited about it before watching the show. He
Had you ever
wasn't,
seen him in anything else?
no.
Okay, so he's in a movie that I watched a couple of years ago that I think is a Sarah Dessen book.
Okay.
I cannot for the life of me think of what it's called. I just remember that the main character's name is Auden. And also, just to talk about our age, the stepmother is Kate Bosworth.
Oh, no. That hurts.
But it's worth checking out, and it's a very different character for him. I think he had like blondish hair in it. Um, but I'm not helping anybody because I can't remember what it's called. But that's the only thing that I had seen him in prior to this.
Before I watched, I was like, this isn't how it was in my mind. And I thought from the trailer, he looked a little bit old. So he's 28 in real life. And I don't know. I just was like, I don't know how this is going to go. In the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh, they were right. I was wrong. Their chemistry is incredible. And I have watched up to episode 4 and I couldn't stop because I'm so into them. And even though I know where the story is going, I feel like it's getting this second life with their portrayal of these people where I'm very interested in how they're going to take on certain moments or what their facial expressions are going to be, what their body language is going to be. Any hesitation I had about him being right for this has been extinguished. I think that they are so good together. And, of course he's going to have like a big body. That's part of being a hockey player. I think in my mind, it wasn't quite that like chiseled from a block, massive presence that he is, especially compared to her physically. He feels so like towering in a way that I wasn't picturing it in my mind. But like that's the joy of reading, right? It's whatever is conjured for you. And now there's a second version of it that exists in the world in which I'm very into his portrayal. And they have not yet in the first two episodes given as much background about his life story as the viewers will eventually get. But I'm looking forward to that part too, where there's more reveals about his past and about his dad. And I think also the actor playing his dad, Steph and I both watch a show called High Potential, which he's also on. And I was like, oh, like more of our friends are here. And also in Hannah's music class, there's an actor who plays Denny on Virgin River. And I was like, oh my God, and Denny's here. It's like people just keep popping up from these other shows, which has been so fun because not all of those people are as active a part of the press tour. And it's been cool to just like make those discoveries as, you know, more scenes happen.
I think that Belmont is beautifully skating the edge, pun intended, of being a dick, but being nice about it. Like the scene where he is sleeping with Kendall, and afterwards she's like, I want you to be my boyfriend. And he's like, why? And then goes on to like very honestly explain, like, we know nothing about each other. Like, you don't know my mom's name. I don't know your mom's name. Like, why would you want to be with me? I think you just want to be with me because I might be going towards the NHL. But the way he did it was like, you're like, oh, what a dick. But you're like, but he's being honest. And he's not really being rude about it. He's just being like really blatant. You know, like he's done it in a way where you're like, oh, but then you're like, oh.
Totally.
It's perfect.
Yes, it is perfect. It is perfect. And I think another fun aspect of this, and for those who have been like us following every minute of the press tour, the gentlemen who have been cast as Dean and Tucker and John Logan are like the greatest trio. I love them in all the press interviews. I love them even more inside of this house where the four of them live. It's even better than I could have hoped. I feel like, especially with Dean, like the charisma is magnified even more than it was in the books. I think it's cool to see the way that they've let Tucker be sort of like, he's kind of the like, not comic relief, but he's just sort of like diffuses situations in a way that's adorable. And, you know, there's much more to come of John Logan, but I feel like they just nailed it. Like this crew, you want to hang out with them. They make you laugh. And as we have an episode coming up where we deep dive on the book 1, so everyone can look forward to that, we talked about how this is a utopia in which hockey players are nice and well behaved, and it feels there's no predator vibes at all with the four of them, which makes watching it much more fun. Because so many times, as we know, in these college party situations, you're bracing yourself like something bad's about to happen, somebody's about to get forced upon, or something awful, and it just isn't happening. And that has added a levity to the whole situation that you don't usually get in those scenarios.
I giggled so much. I want to talk about their house for a second, just because, you know, house renovator in me, coffered ceiling. I was like, my college house did not look like this. It could have fit in like a quarter of that. And it was dark and dingy. And the kitchen that they're working with, I was like...
Every single room in that house is bigger than any room I was ever in on a college campus. Like the living room. The living room, they have this massive L-shaped couch. They've got a pool table. There's space for people to walk between said couch and pool table. And also all their bedrooms are massive. And it's just like, what reality is this?
I know that they did it just because it's fiction. It's a show that, you know, we need the characters to be able to comfortably move around and fit a lot of people in for parties. But I just was watching it as like a realist being like, who on a college campus has a coffered ceiling? Can we be real for a second?
Yeah. Also, Garrett has like this dark leather headboard. And I was like, as if, like, there's no chance that that would be happening at all. We have to talk about Justin.
That was my next bullet point. First of all, we love him from Heartbreak High.
We do love him.
And I'm so glad they let him keep his accent because kudos.
Yes, I think the accent makes him sexier, obviously. He is the perfect like object of affection for a first love. He has he not physically, but vibes wise, he is Jordan Catalano. Like he gives that sort of like brooding but super handsome
guitar playing.
It's everything. It's like all the Claire Danes pining was just flooding back to me. And you had sent me a reel a couple weeks ago where someone was analyzing the trailer for the show and saying it looks like they combined two storylines. Hannah's crush, which in the book is actually a football player, and her musical collaborator, which in the book is a different character. So in the show, Justin is both her crush and the person who she's working on her performance with. I actually don't mind it. I don't mind
It makes sense, yeah.
Meshing of those two things.
Well, and I also think because when I was reading it thinking she's into a football player and she's dating a hockey player, there's not, I don't want anyone to get like mad at me, but like there's not too much difference there. She's still like pining after a jock. And this was like very different end of the spectrum of like moody artist. Like it makes sense that like he's on one side and Garrett's on the other because they're very different. And I think that we needed that, you know?
Yes, you're right. I think the juxtaposition of their two energies, personality types, appearance, it makes it feel like more of a choice and that she's wanting something different, which, you know, as we go along, there will be more. But I also have to say that I feel like this overall reminded me of the movies of like the early aughts.
That's
like
why I'm saying someone on the team is our age.
It really does. It's like the things that you loved about, you know, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait. Great one, especially the house party. There's a lot of that energy in this. And I think even though you could argue women our age are not necessarily who they thought would like be feral for this show, I think it's conjuring a nostalgia that's making us want to sit down and watch the whole thing. And thank you to whoever's decision it was to drop all the episodes at once. I am a big, as is well documented here on Plans Are Booked, rewatcher. If I love something, I will watch it again and again and again. Having to wait week by week for things to drop, I understand why they do it. I understand that it builds anticipation. This feels like you're going to hit play and you're going to want to sit still for the entire rest of the day in order to enjoy this because it's just so fun. I wasn't expecting my primary adjective to be fun, but it is. And I think the liberties they've taken to make certain adjustments, they're all working. There isn't anything I've seen so far where I've been like, ooh, no. Or like, I wouldn't have wanted it to go that way. Or I wish they hadn't said this or changed this person in this way. I think everything has served a very real storytelling purpose. And that's a masterful adaptation when that's how people who are protective of the book feel that it is great.
Yeah, I'm sure Elle Kennedy is thrilled because this is like beyond.
The fact that last week we were all crying happy tears in support of Shelby Van Pelt and Remarkably Bright Creatures, and now we're having that same feeling for Elle Kennedy, for people who have poured their heart and soul into something, for it not only to find a fan base in print, but then to get this whole other icing on the cake experience. And Elle Kennedy on Instagram posted a whole photo dump from the premiere. And I just kept thinking to myself, how cool is this? That like something that came out of your brain is one of the most heavily promoted and advertised shows of the summer. And this book came out a while ago. It's not like
over 10 years ago. Yeah.
It's not like this is a quick turn. This is a massive, massive payoff for her.
I could be misremembering, but I kind of think that she started out indie publishing.
Hmm.
So like major success story if that's actually factually true, to go
Totally.
from doing it yourself to Amazon Prime. And I think
Big
last night
time.
when I rewatched episode 1 and 2, I think it was at number 3.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I just have to say, just to get this out there, my one qualm, as you know,
Sure.
I get major ick when actors who can't skate.
Oh, yes.
But the scene in Heated Rival where he's doing 3 loops and each time he's like making eyes and waving to Kip gave me such an ick because as a hockey player, I can tell that he's new to skates. My only qualm is at their intros. Have you ever seen a BU intro for a
I
game?
have not. I have not.
Okay, the lights go down. I cannot remember the player's name, but if you look on Instagram and you look up BU hockey intros, he does the sluttiest thing ever, skates to the line, stops one-footed, and they slow-mo it, okay? I'm telling you. They had the opportunity to do that with this show. And instead, I watched the intros and was like, oh,
You know
that's
what?
it.
Maybe we're going to get more in a future episode.
I just love a
Who
slow
knows?
mo, like, and obviously
Yeah.
they have, I know that 3 of them were new to hockey, and I'm not going to say who because I don't want anyone to like be looking too closely at them. But I know Belmont had a double, and I feel like the double could have done a slow mo, one-legged stop, sliding into the blue line, and it would have been,
I feel really grateful that I can't tell what good hockey skating looks like. So it doesn't even, it's not a thing that I'm looking for. It's not a thing I would notice. And after you said that, from Heated Rivalry episode 3, I started thinking to myself, what is something in my life, either personally or my career, that I feel like I would notice like that? And the only thing I could think of is, and for those who maybe don't know, in my real life, I work in PR. And a lot of times in political type shows, they're showing cover ups of things with the press. I feel like that's the only thing where I'd be like, that would never happen like that. You would never say that to a reporter. That's not the media statement you would give. That's like my one comp to being able to spot things like that. And the sports stuff, I just don't know. I'm like, is it real? Is it not? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I love that they're setting. So you've only read the first book, right?
Oh, correct. But I
Okay.
know who the stars are of book 2 and
Right.
3, and I can see what they're
Yes.
doing for the next book.
I don't want to like give anything away in case there are people who want to then read the other books. I will say, I love a good trope and I hate the trope in the 4th book. I love John Tucker. I really, really do not like that trope. But anyways, I just love a fake dating trope. That I think that's why The Deal is my number 1 of the books, because I just think it's starting us off on like the perfect footing to set up the next seasons. But I also love that, like, knowing where each character is going, that there's little things that they have stuck in, like Tucker in the pink apron and how domestic he is. He's the one of the group who like takes care of the house, and then we have Dean just being the slutty boy he is, but we're also setting up his relationship with Bo, which, if you know, you know. And then I just love the pining that we're already getting from Logan, which I wrote down so many times, oh, Logan, and then a heart, because I just love him so much and I hate that this happens to him. Oh, I wrote down first Wellesley.
Yes. Yes.
I just love a last name as like a cutesy little nickname,
Okay, and also, in case there's anyone watching this that doesn't know anything about hockey culture, everybody has a cutesy nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not just calling her Wellesley because her last name is Wells. That's a hockey-esque choosing of a nickname. If you follow the NHL at all of the people that run the social media accounts for the teams, when they're asking the players questions when they come off the ice, which is like a daily occurrence, and they ask them questions, who would you trust to babysit your kids, or like who is always the last one on the bus. When they're answering and they're giving their teammates names, they're calling them by their nicknames.
You add a Y or an IE to the end. So I'd be
Right.
Blackie, which is
Right.
what my dad was actually in college.
Right. So Wellesley is, yes, adorable and like makes her blush, but is also the hockey nomenclature.
He's bringing her into the fold,
He's bringing her into the fold. And also, we haven't talked about this. I love the character of Jules and the way that they are having them be a Gossip Girl like source.
And I wrote, thank God Instagram didn't exist when I was in college.
Yes. Yes. This idea that you can be photographed or filmed anywhere, anytime, whether you realize it or not.
That would have been so messy.
I also love the name of the account. It's called The Fifth Line, which is so great. I think it's a fun addition to the storyline, and also, gives them an opportunity for that to be a source of strife in the future. I also think that the actor who's cast as Jules is perfect. It was reminding me a little bit of Jenny from Gossip Girl, a little bit of like a
younger sibling,
always around, knows everybody in the group, knows all the dirt kind of situation. And also, of course, the blonde hair. I think it's a great character, and it's fun to see Jules try to poke holes in the beginning, because the fake dating trope only works if people believe it. And in the beginning, everyone is like, what? Garrett has said to everyone who will ever listen, I don't do girlfriends. What is happening here? And they both have to keep saying, we're not exclusive. We're just spending time together, blah, blah, blah. But no one believes it until they start, the inevitable moment where it starts to feel not so fake. And I'm delighted by it. I really am. And I feel like we're in this mode right now here in Boston anyway, where spring wants to happen, but it's not really happening. We're getting like a sunny day and then a cold and rainy day, and we just need joy. And this is given it to me. It's so good. It's so good. And also, someone asked me yesterday, should I watch it if I haven't read the book? And I said, if you like a romance book, you should read the book first and then watch it, because it will give you so much more joy, because you will know every reason behind every decision. You could watch it first and then read it, and you would still love it.
Like we did with Heated Rivalry.
And all of the Game Changers books. Yes, totally. You can have the reverse experience. I personally think reading first in this case will give you so much more appreciation for what they're doing in the adaptation. And also, we're at this point now where it's been so mass promoted. If you read it now, you're going to be picturing the actors. You're not going to have the chance to have your own imagination of it. But if you watch the show and then you read, that's going to be even more intense, where you're just going to be, like you said, like we were with Hudson and Connor. That's who we were picturing, because we had spent 6 hours with them and we felt like we were deep in it. So if you can get your hands on it, I would highly recommend read first. And I am positive that all of the next books in the series are going to start flying off the shelves, because people are going to fall in love with this.
They already are. We've had customers coming in looking for book 2, and we don't have book 2. We have it in the like really pretty hardcover version, but we didn't have the paperback for a while.
Well, I'm really excited to keep watching. I think this is just such a treat. It's coming at exactly the right time. I smiled the whole time. And that is just a gift at the end of a long day, or in your case, at the beginning before a long day, to be able to have that feeling. It's the best.
Yeah.
And congrats, Elle Kennedy. I mean, wow. What a fantastic reward at the end of having written all of these great characters. I hope she's relishing every single minute of this.
And she has a new book out if people love that series. There's a new one out called, I believe, Love Song.
Yes. So. Yes. And we have that title when our episode drops about the deal. We have all of the books of hers that we mentioned on our Instagram. So you'll be able to easily find that if you hear us now, but you forget about it, we'll have it all saved to our 2026 book recs. So you'll be able to find it there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Until next time, go Hawks.
I was going to say, here's to me, here's to you. Fuck the rest. Go for you.
That too. That can be our new drinking song, our new drinking chant.
All right. Bye-bye.